What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, shout out to Splinter Cards for updating their set value. We can come in and actually see Rebellion set values at each of the individual levels now. And, big number here that we see right off the bat is if you want a maxed set of not Chaos, I should say Rebellion, it's going to run you about $8 grand right now. Let's just jump down to gold, which should be roughly half. You can see this is about 4,500. Silver is at 16, or we'll just say 1,700, and then bronze level cards are going to run you about a little under 500. Then novice, which is just one BCX of everything, is going to be $220. Now, I want to focus in on diamond, or at least a max set, because that's obviously where we can kind of compare apples to apples here. Because when we look at Chaos Legion, I remember Chaos Legion being worth $10,000, right, for a max set when it first came out. And that did not even include all of the airdrops that came out. And I think Chaos had like 14 or 15 airdrops overall. So even with that, the retracement is over 80%, as this thing is, under $2,000 now, $1,877 to be exact, if you were to buy today. But we all know Chaos was overprinted, right? There's way too many cards, at least for right now. Hopefully, if new players do come in, they will start to soak those up. But, the question then becomes, what can we potentially expect from Rebellion, right? And I guess before we jump into that, let's just compare gold. If you wanted to jump into Gold Chaos, it's about $1,000 right now. So 5,500 total between Chaos and Rebellion. Silver is going to run you a little bit, or almost about $500. Bronze is going to give you 139, and then novice is $99. So, what can we expect from Rebellion over time? Well, first of all, there's going to be 9 airdrops, so that, we should add that value in, although we'll need to figure out how much those cards will be worth and how all of that will actually play out. But here's the beautiful thing about Rebellion is that we, at least so far, have not seen, or I should say have seen the team take significant actions to help preserve the set value over time. The first of which is airdrops are no longer going to be, you just buy a bunch of packs and then you don't need to do anything with them. You will need to actually hold the packs or hold the cards, right? So therefore, there's just going to be less liquidity overall. Then the bonuses, when buying, they were reduced from, I think it was 10, 15, and 20%, right, for bulk buys, down to 5, 10, and 15%. So it's just less packs overall. And then there's the guarantee from Matt, which, he said there's not going to be any major sales. With Chaos, we saw 2 huge sales, right? One for Splinterfest, and then another one that was like an end of the year with the Archimus the Bear promo. It was like a holiday or winter sale, I think is what they called it. So they just, ended up selling a bunch of packs that we didn't really need, cards that we didn't really need, that the player base could not soak up at the time. So, prices just ran through the floor. So far, what we have seen is a steady drip of sales. We've seen a steady drip of packs being opened. And keep in mind, we are still less than a week into Rebellion being out. So there's a lot of price discovery that needs to happen. There's a lot of meta that needs to be discovered to decide which cards are must-have or essential. And keep in mind, one thing that I didn't even factor in was like the cost of Rift Watchers, which is kind of like an added set. You don't necessarily need it to play, but I would say there's certain cards in there that you need in order to be able to compete at the highest of levels. But we're gonna keep that aside for now and just compare the core sets. So when we think about like what the value of this will be over time, it's $8,000 right now. And, Chaos, when it first came out, was $10,000, but that was like at the end of a very raging bull market. There was a lot of new players, myself included, that did not have any of the cards and therefore wanted to buy the cards, right? So comparing them with those contexts, it kind of makes sense that, Rebellion is at this level right now. I don't want to say we're in the middle of a bear market. We're obviously, Bitcoin is starting to heat up, and we have the halving coming up in like 4 or 5 months. So we're not necessarily in the bear market, but we are coming out of a bear market, which could be an exciting time, because if you consider, right, where Chaos pack value and the Chaos set value went from the end of a bull market down to the depths of a bear. And I would say that for Chaos, right, it's technically still kind of a bear because there's just oversupply, and, we haven't really figured out what we're going to do with all those cards. But you compare that now to kind of like the flip side of what's happening, where Rebellion's coming out at hopefully what is the end of a bear or beginning of a bull. So I don't want to sit here and say that I think, Rebellion or card value or the set value is going to go up significantly from here. I think it could take. I think it could happen. It would take time, and I don't think it's going to be significant. Like, I don't think we're going to do X's, right? All of a sudden, you're going to see like a $20,000 set value for Rebellion. Because keep in mind, there's still packs available on the shelf. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it retrace to a certain level, right? Because there's going to be certain cards that people just don't need. And when we take a look, let's actually jump over to the market right now. When we take a look, let's say at like the common cards, for example, there, in my opinion, outside of like the summoners, which are obviously going for a premium right now, there are, cards going for 7-8 cents, which I think after a certain point, once everybody has their fill, they're going to be opening packs, and those cards, right, or these cards specifically that people have not found a specific use case for, similar to the hardy stonefishes of chaos, these are going to start dropping in value, right? And I'm not saying that they're going to get to a penny, but if there's just too many of them and people are opening packs and then have a bunch of extra, they're just going to try and move them at whatever price on the marketplace, which drops the floor price on these cards, which drops the pack value overall. So drops the pack value, drops the set value. So all of that will kind of play in. But that'll only be as we open more packs. And, commons are just obviously more abundant than any of the other rarities out there. I mean, when we go to legendaries, I think what's interesting to see here too is the lowest cost legendary that you have is already under $6, right? So will it go a lot lower? Well, it really just depends. I don't think we're going to see, sub $1. Actually, let me not create like a clip of myself here at some point in the future. Maybe we do get there, but I'm just saying, these would have to fall significantly more to be under $1. Could it happen? Absolutely. Will it happen? I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if after a certain point people are opening packs and there's just too many of this Demise Arkenfaust, right? Too many of the Zebajane that just people don't really care for, and therefore will sell on the market in order to recoup costs. And here's the important thing. If these cards, right, these legendary cards stay above $4, that makes all of a sudden like, people feel as though the pack was worth it, right? Because you buy a pack for $4 from the store, or even less potentially on the secondary market, you get a legendary card and it's just like, well, the pack paid for itself. I can then go sell this card if I don't need it, right? And then hope to get another one. And I think rares, let's actually go to rares real quick just for the last example here. Obviously Grim Bardoon Smith doesn't count because he's not openable in packs. 23 cents is relatively low. Now here's the thing. You are guaranteed a rare in every pack that you open. So if you open a Swellspore Beast, for example, right, as your rare card, and then you get 4 other commons, I mean, your pack value is not going to be very high unless your commons are very good. The one thing that I will say that could potentially help this set compared to Chaos Legion, and I'm going to go back to the commons here, are the summoners. These are highly desirable cards, right? Let's actually just focus in on the summoners. These are highly desirable cards. Will they drop to, under 10 cents? I mean, they could potentially. I just don't know what the demand for them is going to be long term, but I do expect as potentially new players come in, or even players like myself that have not bought into these cards yet, there will be demand in the future because there's going to be some interesting combos that come up, or whatever the case is, that I will still be buying these compared to the hardy stonefish of the world, right? Let's figure out what's the hardy stonefish here. The Chaos Lackey, right? So the Chaos Lackeys of the world. So in that way, because commons will have a higher range than usual because of the summoners, I think that could help to preserve set value over time, as opposed to like Chaos Legion. Now, again, it's not apples to apples, but Chaos Legion, and let's just look at the core set, for example, because, the highest value card here is going to be Scavo Hireling at 14 cents. And then it's a massive drop off to 5 cents for Goblin Psychic, Deep Lurker, Chaos Agent, Supply Runner. All of these cards, I think, are crucial to the meta even now, right? With Rebellion in the mix, and probably even more so with Rebellion in the mix, just because everybody has these cards. Not everybody has Rebellion. So, on the whole, I'm not surprised to see the value where it's at. My hope is that it doesn't retrace very much, but even if it does, I think there's going to be certain elements in there that help to preserve the value over time. And obviously scarcity being one, but the summoners being quite powerful, quite interesting at the lower levels. Another reason. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is this a set value that you think is fair? Do you expect it to go up, down? How do you compare it to Chaos Legion when Chaos Legion first came out? Obviously, we can't compare it to Chaos Legion now because so much has happened. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know. Otherwise, I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.